Hey guys, do you want to see a movie that's campy, unintentional humor, and features a male Kryptonian?
Yes. What's the unintentionally funny?
I think that's this movie as a whole. It is considered one of the worst movies ever made.
Yeah.
We're talking about Superman 4.
Yeah. Like, is this the worst movie?
Superman 4 from Canon Films, or the Canon Group, is what we're going to talk about. My name is Brian Lee, and Elk Grove Villages.
Brian.
And Evanston is
Chris Lee.
I haven't seen any of the Superman movies in
I have not either.
Forever. And I think I've only seen the first one. I don't know if I've seen 2 or 3.
I've seen none of them. Not even the new ones.
Yeah, same here, actually.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen the new ones either.
Yeah, none of them. One of the best things I loved I just loved one dude's name, Sidney Fury. I just thought that was such a, like, remember The Simpsons when it was like Max Power? It was like a Sidney Fury. Like, it just sounded like a very name. I just was very excited.
Chris, go ahead.
Superman 4. I was just trying to pick what I could find out of it that I enjoyed.
Chris, you were saying?
Before we get into the movie, Brian, what are you drinking?
Doing the Glenn Fittich 14 year. I'm trying to plow through this thing so I can buy a new bottle. So
Nice. Brandon, I think I know what you're drinking.
Very old Barton. But look, how much left?
to the end of the road. No.
Yeah, no, it's not. I was enjoying it. Yeah.
So for the month of March and April, I was trying to not do beer and only drink whiskey. For May, I think I might switch it up and only do wine. So I have some Block 9. Oh, that might be reversed. Block 9 Pinot Noir.
Reversed. You're good. Do you fancy yourself a red or a white person?
Red. Always red.
White.
Fucking racist, Brand.
It gives me migraines.
It depends what kind and what quality.
Yeah, we talked about
The red kind.
The sulfates, bro.
I know. I need one of those diffusers or whatever. You know,
I had a wine diffuser.
whatever they're called. You pour the wine in, it goes blue, and it doesn't give you migraines.
It starts beatboxing?
Yeah, of course.
I'm a scat man. Skate Man was a bubbling brook.
Brian, do you have a preference of red or white wine?
Red.
Yeah. That is the correct answer. Yes.
Yeah, more white for me. It's fine.
Oh, someone please just take that sound clip and more white for me.
Yes. Brian, do you recommend Superman 4?
Nah.
Yeah. Brand, do you recommend Superman 4?
No.
Yeah, neither do I. Not good.
No. Not good at all.
I was very unhappy when I saw John Cryer was in this.
Why was he talking like that?
It was.
No. How many times was, oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, in certain parts, he like almost sounded like goofy. Like, whoa, gorge.
Right. It was bad. It just, and it was all right.
Yeah.
It's always like a bad, like Bill and Ted's.
Yes.
That's what I got. Yeah.
For people who have not seen Superman 4, which came out in 87, 86, anyone know offhand?
87.
The Man of Steel crusades for nuclear disarmament and meets Lex Luthor's latest creation, Nuclear Man.
Who would win in a battle? Nuclear Man or Captain Pollution?
Captain Pollution, of course, because Nuclear Man needs the sun. If Pollution Man, we just put pollution everywhere.
It's not Solar Man, it's Nuclear Man.
But in the movie, he needs the sunlight for his power.
Yeah, which I'm not sure how that worked out.
I don't know either. But if we're going by movie standards here, Pollution Man, I think, would win.
Yeah, actually, there's a lot of things in this movie that don't make sense. Like a lot of Superman's powers are like he has the ability to rebuild the wall of China with ability.
I was very confused by that.
Yeah. And the plots just kind of jump. It's like there's a plot happening, and then another plot just starts.
Yeah.
It just, I even like the part where he's going to get them, a Nuclear Man's going to get what's her face. It's like, where's the woman? Why? Why does he want
Lacey?
her? Yes. What was the reason? He saw her in a newspaper and all of a sudden he wants, I don't get it. I just makes no sense.
Or just the whole concept of no one recognizing Clark Kent versus Superman
is crazy in this movie.
I mean, he doesn't even style his hair different. I mean, it's like literally it's just taking the glasses on and off. And I mean, I mean, is it to where it's so absurd that they just kind of almost like are like making it like a parody of itself, maybe? But I mean,
maybe, yeah, because especially the very sitcom scenario where basically Lacey and Lois are on a double date with Clark Kent and Superman. Yeah. Just like, really, we're doing this?
Right.
It was like a bad Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah. Hello, Laverne.
And there is no reason on earth why Prince Charming cannot walk through our front door. Hello.
In the beginning, you know, he rescues like the cosmonauts and like that scene was whatever. Yeah. And then we meet John Cryer when he picks up or when he the convertible.
That's so dumb too.
That's how he helps. Because what Lex Luthor is his uncle.
Yeah, I think so.
So then he helps him like escape from, because apparently I don't know why this was a thing in the 70s and the 80s, but I guess if you're doing time, you have to break rocks.
Yeah.
I mean,
you gotta, break. And then, the ball and chain on your foot. And
right.
And, so I had like, when that car pulled up, you know, that was all weird. I'm like, okay, I have some high hopes. Like it looks like it's like something might be weird, but nothing weird happened. It just was like painted weird and had just stuff put on it.
That was like Dr. Seuss, like horns.
Right. I thought those were gonna like shoot something or they were gonna make a noise. No, none of that. No, it was just he radio controlled and just like off a cliff. And then off of like how tall was that cliff into a gorge? And the guards come out and like, oh, what happened? We just fell 1,000 feet and we're fine.
Yeah.
Well, and all the remote control did was close the convertible top, which is like not all that fancy,
right?
And make the seats recline back. Just like
that's it. And it was. So I was just.
So it's a rate mobile, is what it is.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Where's the handcuff button? The whole subway scene was kind of ridiculous. Because and I think, and if I recall, the conductor like making a pretty hilarious noise like when he collapsed. But then it's funny because after Superman saved the day, he opens up like the front car to go check on the conductor, walks right back out. He's like,
He'll be all right.
Because Superman is a doctor.
Right. And then he makes that whole speech about how safe the subway system is.
Our subway system is still the safest and most reliable means of public transportation.
Right, yeah. It was weird.
And what I don't get is Lois Lane's on the train and she yells, help. But I don't know why, because it's not like anyone on the train can help. So,
and no one else was like really worried.
No, not at all.
She was the only one that's like, hey, we're going slightly faster. I'm going to freak out.
I'm making great time.
It was really. And I was going to ask you guys if you knew if like this was canon, like if you knew like that what's happening, the whole piece thing, like in the comic books, if this was like part of it, or if this is just made to be a movie and whatever.
So the movie came out first, but then they made a like comic book adaptation of this story.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah, not impressed by that, but
my first notes is that the kid's voice in the beginning is super weird. I forget his name, Jeremy or something.
Oh, the kid who writes the letter.
Yeah, really deep, like a dude,
oddly deep.
Yeah,
and
we're Supermans.
Yeah, he had a really bizarre accent.
I tell you who I'd write a letter to that would do some good.
Who, Santa Claus?
No, Superman.
Yeah. You could take the nuclear weapons. Okay.
I like when I don't know what kind of fucking museum it is, but they show like Superman's like strand of hair like holding up that weight.
Oh yeah.
What I thoroughly enjoyed was when Lex Luthor is there with his nephew. And, you know, they like got this big satchel and I'm like, okay, like he's like a super crime boss. He's going to have some sort of elaborate glass cutting thing. Nope. It's just a big old wrench. And he goes just like smashes open the glass.
How did he get the hair? What did he cut? He couldn't have cut the hair.
So that was going to be my next question is that, because the museum's like, oh, Superman's hair is so strong. It holds up this very ball, like 1,000 pound like, weight.
Yeah.
But then Lex Luthor breaks the window and then just like cuts it with like normal, like bolt cutters or something.
Right.
So I was like, it's not that strong, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I didn't even think about that. Did any of you notice? I mean, I noticed it in particular when Superman, or where is it? I don't know, it's some balcony scene where Lois Lane and Superman are hanging on the balcony, and you get a really close look at Superman's cape. Do you realize how cheaply the yellow S is like sewn on there?
I noticed it when they think Superman has died and his cape is on the publicist's like desk or whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
It's folded up and like the S is up and it's just like, oh, that looks cheap.
Right. And I forget what museum I was at, but like I saw one of the like OG like Star Wars costumes, and I'm like, oh, that's like hot garbage. It's just like literally just like, blue and orange squares like on, in front of like, like a pilot's like shirt. I'm like, oh my God, holy fuck.
That flying part that took forever with Superman and Lois.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like if I couldn't lay there. I could never be an actor because I couldn't lay on something and pretend like I'm flying and like be super pumped. Like, I'm falling. Oh no, I couldn't do it. And
there was a lot of that in this movie.
Right. And it even looked ridiculous. Like it was just like, oh, this is like super cringy. It was hard for me to get through.
What stood out for me in that scene is that, so I mean, Superman is like holding Lois and they're flying, and then at one point he drops her.
2 times he almost killed her.
Yeah, they're just having fun.
Yeah, kids will be kids.
So they end their trip around the world and they, I think, land on the balcony or whatever. Superman kisses her. And then she has like amnesia, which was another superpower I didn't know Superman had.
Yeah. Good job, Superman. Yes.
Why does Nuclear Man have Esteban nails?
A little music.
Outstanding.
Right off of the instruction video that I just made, Steve, for everybody. And that's a little Malagueña is what that's called.
No one had any enthusiasm. It's hard to be enthusiastic over this movie because everyone's like, when they were talking, it was like, I'm Superman. I'm going to stop you. It was like that. Like that was the acting. And it was it was at least in like other bad movies we've watched, they either like overacted, they like did something. It seemed like these people, they didn't even want to be there. They were like, oh, I'm getting a paycheck. This is great.
Yeah, I mean, it's the 4th one at this point. So, I mean, and like, Gene Hackman had been, well, I know Gene Hackman was in the first one and so was Margot Kidder. I don't know if they were in 2 or 3 or not. But yeah, like there's just some stuff like where like he chops the top of the mountain in half to make it like a big court for the volcano. And then like the Great Wall, of China where he rebuilds that somehow.
Statue of Liberty.
Actually, so I was going to ask you guys. So when Nuclear Man steals the Statue of Liberty, did either of you think he was going to throw it through the World Trade Center?
No.
that would see, I want to say that would have been awesome. I just did. But
I think it's like one of the scenes where he's introduced. Or no, it's when Nuclear Man and Lex Luthor kind of like meet for the first time.
Yes.
But Lex Luthor like lights his cigar off of Nuclear Man.
Yeah.
That seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Just lighting a cigar, something that you inhale, just lighting it from something that's nuclear powered, that just seems like a bad idea.
And how did he get the penthouse of the Empire State Building in like a day?
Well, and he seems to have good connections to all the evil bosses of the world.
Oh, yeah.
So
that is true. That is true. Yeah. Like Superman, he's like, as Clark Kent, he's wrapped up. He's because Nuclear Man hurt him or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But then Nuclear Man's like, all of a sudden, you know what? I'm going to stop going after you, Superman, and I'm going to go after that Lacey chick.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, the whole direction of the movie just like made a complete 180. And it turned into him having to rescue Lacey then. And then it's almost seemed like that was what the whole movie was going to be about.
Because, what was Nuclear Man's goal the entire time?
Kill Superman. That's all he wanted to do.
Yeah. Yeah, destroy Superman.
Right. But then all he does starts doing this other stuff. It just,
and actually, so I'll get to a little bit of trivia right now. So this was actually supposed to be 45 minutes longer than what we watched. And most of that is the fact that there was supposed to be 2 nuclear mans in this movie. So the first one is he was basically supposed to look more inhuman, like more like an animal, and vaguely resembled in looks to the comic book character Bizarro.
Bizarro.
Well, basically, Luthor doesn't think he's strong enough, so he makes the second nuclear man, which is the nuclear man that ends up in the movie.
With the quaff.
Yes.
It looks like Lex Luthor.
very nice.
Brandon, did you know that we, Chris, were you there for that? When we met Lex Luthor at the mall?
Yes. Yep.
You don't remember that? Oh, okay. Brandon, so this is when he was doing his like, Lex Across America thing. Like this is like right after he like beat Yokozuna and like
ducking out of the way, nailing Yokozuna with a 6-inch steel plate in the forearm, and from there, yes, it was unbelievable.
We waited at a mall and like all the kids like Lex, dude, and we fucking. It was a fucking long line, and the guy couldn't be any less personable. Just didn't look up.
Of course.
Just like signing shit. It was yeah.
Wow.
See, I barely remember actually being at the mall, but I do remember the autographed like picture or whatever we got. I do remember that being in your room, like stuck in the mirror.
And take that, Brand.
Still is.
Maybe one of you guys can help me with this note that I made. So it's an hour 14. Breakdancing SWAT man guy. Who? Yeah.
Yeah, I do know what you mean, actually.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Do you? Because I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at one point, Superman and Nuclear Man, they kind of meet on the streets of, it's supposed to be New York, but they filmed this in England, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
and yeah, they basically like have like a meeting in the street, and Superman's like, no, don't hurt the people, which I don't know why Nuclear Man would listen to Superman.
Right.
So
you're right.
So yeah, Nuclear Man just starts like blowing up cars and fire hydrants and like whatever. And then Nuclear Man also uses his superpower of playing video clips in reverse. So like it would show like cars like coming towards them, and then the next scene the cars like reverse. But at one point, he flips a SWAT van, and then like the driver's just on top like spinning. Just like, oh, okay.
Well, first off, like the way Superman catches all the nuclear missiles, like
the net that he made,
right? I'm like really a fucking net, and I'm like, why wouldn't he just throw him into the sun? And then it turns out he did throw him into the sun, but
and that net was just outside of Earth's atmosphere. So if anything just happened to go wrong, like that would have annihilated everyone,
right? Because I was still while he was like spinning it, I'm just like, oh man, like what if he like goofs up and hits Earth like that? Goofs up. Whoops. Exactly. Time to find a new planet.
Time to go back.
You're gonna be Lois 2.
Oh, Lois 1. What you call me? I mean, when Superman drops Nuclear Man into that nuclear reactor and all the lights go on in the city and it makes that power up noise.
Mm-hmm. That I actually laughed at that part. That was kind of funny.
That was pretty fun.
So I watched this with Stacy, and we both had the thought at the exact same time of, oh, that's how Chernobyl was caused.
What does the dosimeter say? 3.6 Röntgen, but that's as high as the meter. 3.6. Not great, not terrible.
Yeah, and then Lex gets back to breaking rocks, and John Cryer goes to Boys Town.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And, well, before they get caught, Lex Luthor and his nephew, whatever, they try to get away. One in like what looks like Cruella DeVille's like convertible.
Yeah,
which is super weird. And Lex Luthor is wearing a snakeskin suit. Not that way to fly under the radar.
It was almost like a very weak, like like Joel Schumacher Batman. Like they're like, let's put a little bit of weird in, but not too much because it's only like 1987. You're gonna want to freak out too many people.
Only other note I have is at one point, Nuclear Man kidnaps Lacey and brings her to outer space, and she's fine. No, like
that's
a space suit,
yeah, she was just
oxygen,
floating
anything.
in
She's
space.
fine. Yeah, just hanging out there.
About that. Nuclear Man, his weakness is pretty like easy to use against him.
Right.
Like, oh, he needs the sun. Okay, put him in a building. And that's exactly kind of what happened. It just was like,
pretty clever how he put him in the elevator. Just saying.
I did like that. I was like, I've been like, okay, well, this is it. Because I would have figured Superman would have made sure the door was closed all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm getting so upset over a movie that was stupid.
So you don't recommend it, Brandan?
A little bit of trivia. We talked about the fact that this was supposed to be 45 minutes longer. And we talked about how there's a second Nuclear Man. Only other bit of trivia was that according to Margot Kidder, she and Christopher Reeves did not get along during this filming. And that's because she said that Christopher Reeves' ego was inflated because he co-wrote the story. He co-wrote this garbage.
And then it's funny. I didn't see that, but I saw another thing. I forgot it was an IMDb. I saw it or something that said that he wished he wouldn't have done this because he blames us for ruining his career.
Yes. The quote, Superman 4 was a catastrophe from start to finish.
Yeah.
That failure was a huge blow to my career.
Yeah, but didn't like Gene Hackman go off and do more, and John Cryer? I mean, it kind of took a hit for a while until that one show with the kid, the one. What's it called?
Probably the bigger hit to his career is when he flew off that horse. But yeah, so
oh, you mean when he was paralyzed? Yeah, that was hilarious.
Too far. I didn't say it was hilarious, Bram.
Either. I don't know what you're talking about.
Play back the tape.
Oh, you mean when he was paralyzed? Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah, that happened in what, 95?
It was
something like that. That just sucks. Like seriously, because imagine being Superman. I mean, I say it all the time, but going from that, it just that was really sad and brutal. So
you can't change your stance now.
I was really thinking about it hard. It just really isn't as funny as I thought.
Now that we have talked about Superman 4, Brian, has your opinion changed? Do you still not recommend it?
No. Yeah, I still do not recommend it.
And do you still recommend the whiskey?
Yeah, it's good. Wish it was smokier, but it's good.
Brand, do you still not recommend a Superman 4?
I still not recommend it.
And do you still recommend, was it Old Barton in this episode?
Yes.
Nice.
Burial Barton, yes. Recommended. Very good. Very strong. Very tasty.
And yes, I do not recommend this. This is, it's so much green screen and it's not good.
Yeah. Carbo.
You know what's actually kind of sad is that I would say obviously it's like 20 years of difference, but I think the green screen in The Room is better than the green screen in this movie. And I think that's everything for this episode. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is it.
Sweet. All right. Well, until next time, boom, boom.
Boom, boom.
Hey, Brian here. Thanks for checking out Nick Uncaged and Loose Cannon. Best way you can help other people find out about us is like, comment, share, and subscribe to the podcast.